everyone! Today we are making a highly requested recipe, authentic Vietnamese pho. It's actually pronounced pho. You have to twist your voice like a wave. That's how you properly pronounce it. And yes, I am Vietnamese if you didn't know. This is one of the most popular Vietnamese dishes. I'm going to be making the chicken pho. We need to use bones to make the broth in this recipe, and I think that chicken bones are more easily accessible to everybody, and it is actually more accessible for me because I live in a small town. I'm going to be using chicken drumsticks with the bone in it. That's going to be our meat part and the bone broth. We're going to be making everything in the Instant Pot. Traditionally, making pho would take so much time. You would have to simmer it for 8 hours, but with the Instant Pot, we can make it in only 30 minutes. The first thing we have to do is make our spice mix. 2 tablespoons of whole coriander seeds. This is what coriander seeds looks like. 4 cloves. 1, 2, 3, 4. In French, we call this clou de girofle, and clou means that thing you put when you do construction. It looks exactly like that pin. I'm gonna put 4 of these in there. I'm also going to add 2 star anise. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Star anise? Anise? 2 of these little stars. Have that in there. A whole cinnamon stick as well. And last but not least, some whole cardamom pods. I'm gonna add 3 pods in there. I'm gonna put it on the saute mode right now. To toast our spices, add that spice mix in there. Let it sit on there until I can start smelling the fragrance. Move it around a little bit to make sure that they're toasting on all the sides. While that's toasting, I'm going to prep my next ingredients. Peel and halve 3 onions. I'm also going to add ginger, 6 slices, enough to cover the palm of my hands. 2 cloves of garlic. Peel these. My spices are starting to smell really good.
Whoa!
I'm going to take them out. I'm going to put them in the same bowl and mix them in. Now I'm going to start charring my onions, ginger, and garlic. Make sure each piece touches the surface. Leave all of that there for 5 minutes. While that is charring, I'm going to put my spice mix in a little tea bag. This is what makes pho the authentic taste, the spices. This is going to be ready to go inside our broth when it's ready. I have cilantro. We're going to be using the leafy part for the garnish, the stems for the broth. I also have these green onions. The green part is going to be the garnish, and I'm going to use the white part and roots in our broth. We're not wasting anything. You see how it's starting to have some black on them? This means they've started charring. Just going to flip them over. That's what we want, some browning. Alright, so this has started browning. I'm going to add my first 4 cups of water. We're going to be adding 12 cups of water in total. This first 4 cups is going to deglaze the bottom. I'm going to add these stems and this root part. I'm also going to add my spice bag that I've made earlier. I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of salt and about a tablespoon of rock sugar. This is what rock sugar looks like. Looks like a crystal. This is what's traditionally used in pho, but if you don't have access to this, you can use a tablespoon of brown sugar instead. These pieces are actually a bit too big, so I'm going to have to crush them right now. Don't mess with me. Alright, so about this much. Pop it in there. I'm also going to add 4 tablespoons of fish sauce. Fish sauce is the most important condiment in Vietnamese cooking. So you guys know how in Chinese cooking, soy sauce is used in everything. In Vietnamese cooking, fish sauce is used in everything. I'm also going to add 1.5 kilos of chicken thighs with bone in. You want to use as good quality chicken you can find as possible because we're using that to make the broth, so the flavor is going to make a big difference. And you could use a whole chicken as well if you liked instead of chicken thighs. You just want to use a cut of meat that has bones in it. I'm gonna go wash my hands, and then we're gonna add the rest of the water, 8 more cups. Alright, all our broth ingredients are in. I'm just gonna close this, put it on sealing mode, pressure cook this for 30 minutes. While that is pressure cooking, we can prep the garnishes. We have the rest of our cilantro. I'm also going to add the remaining green onions for the garnish as well. There's one more thing we need for the garnish, and that's yellow or white onion. Add your onions in there. Some limes. There's our garnishes. There's other things you could use for garnishes as well. You could have some bean sprouts, Vietnamese mint, and some Thai basil, but I haven't been able to find that in town. So just use what you have. One last thing we need to prep is the noodles. I have these rice stick noodles. Soak it in some warm water for around 30 minutes. Alright, our pho broth has finished the 30 minutes, and now we're going to release it. Yes, release it. This is why you need to release it before you open it, or else it's gonna explode in your face. So I'm gonna turn it to the vent. All the pressure coming out. You wanna let the pressure out completely before you open it. Alright, the pressure has completely come off. Alright, this chicken is cooked. Still pretty hot. I'm just going to take this pan out of the container. And now I'm going to start straining it. I just have a bowl right here with the strainer on top. The bowl is going to catch the broth, which we're going to keep for the soup. Now it's still a little bit too hot to touch. I'm just going to let it drain completely on here and let it cool a bit before we shred the meat out. But for this broth, this is like liquid gold. I'm going to put these in my glass containers. This is how I store it in the fridge. But I'm going to let it cool on the countertop as well. And if you let this cool long enough, the fat is going to come up to the surface and it's going to be super easy to scoop it out. That's if you don't want to eat the fat, but if you do want to eat the fat, you can just leave it right there because fat adds a lot of flavor. So a little bit of fat is good. This smells so good. Chicken in Vietnamese is called Ga, G-A, Ga, and you lower the voice. It's not Ga, it's Ga. So if you go to a Vietnamese restaurant and you order this dish and you want to impress the owners, you can say Pho Ga. So there's all our delicious broth. And I'm going to leave all of this here for 15 minutes until it's cool enough to touch, and then we're going to shred our meat. It's already been 30 minutes for our noodles, so let's go check on them. Our noodles are ready to be drained. You can see that they are not hard anymore. They're pliable. So this is when you drain them out. Here you can sort of see the fat come up to the surface, and I like to discard that. I've just drained my noodles, and this is how much noodles it gave me. It's not cooked yet, but it's going to be perfect to store in the fridge until you're ready to use it. Now my chicken's actually not so hot anymore, so I can start shredding the meat and throwing out the rest. This is so tender, it's like fall off the bone. Alright, so I have shredded all the meat. This is the meat for 20 chicken drumsticks. That's a lot. It's time to make a bowl of pho. Let's do it. You just want to have everything ready so that it's easy to make. You're going to need 2 pans, one for your broth and your chicken, and one with just some water in it. To boil your noodle, dip them with this little tool here and dip it out. I'm going to start heating up my water, bring it to a boil. I also have my pho bowls right here. You can put however much broth you want for a bowl. And you can add in here how much chicken you want. I'm going to put about this much chicken for each person. Also going to prepare my noodle to dip. You can put however much you want to eat in there. I'm putting about this much per person. This is like 3/4 of a cup. If you want to eat more noodles, you can put more. If you want to eat less. So I'm just going to have that prepared to dip. Okay, so my water here has started to come to a simmer. So I'm just going to dip these in for about 30 seconds. You can already see that it's a lot softer now. So you dipped it in, dip it out, and you add it to your pho bowl. Let's make another bowl. Dip it in, and dip it out into your bowl. You can shut this off. The broth has also reached a simmer, so we can shut it off. And then to garnish, before you add the broth in, you're going to add some sliced onion on there, as much as you like. I'm also going to add some chopped cilantro, chopped green onion. And let's add chicken and the broth to our bowl. These are the bowls. Just add some cracked pepper on top, and then it's ready to serve. This is what the bowl looks like. There are the noodles underneath with that perfectly cooked and tender chicken. And let's do a taste test. Okay, so this is our delicious bowl of pho. We can take a lime, spritz that over top. Taste the broth. That is so good. It's perfectly seasoned. I don't think it needs more salt, but if you would like it saltier, you could add some more fish sauce. Let's have a little taste of that chicken. This is so tender. You can feel it in your mouth that it's full off the bone. And now let's have a little bit of noodles. It has the perfect chew. It's not overcooked. It's not undercooked either. It is al dente. I hope you guys liked my video. Make sure to try this recipe. Please like my video, comment any more suggestions, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.